Don't let your failures define you, let them teach you. I'm Anthony from Pittsburgh Fit, and today I'm gonna take you through our HIIT at home workout. We're gonna start with our first warm-up triplet. We have alternating dead bugs for 20 reps. Erica's gonna start laying on her back. Her knees are gonna be pointed straight up towards the ceiling, as are her hands. Her right hand is gonna drop to the floor. Her left leg is gonna drop to the floor, then they're gonna come back together. Notice that when one leg drops down, these stay in position. There's no moving here, so she comes back into the middle, gets set, and then her other leg moves. So we have 20 reps or 10 on each side. Now, we're gonna stand up, we're gonna grab a little bit of weight. We're gonna do 20 ground to overhead. It's a little bit high on the rep number here today, so make sure your load is a little bit lighter. Erica's gonna have that backpack on the side, tap the ground gently, and pull it up overhead. She's keeping that backpack nice and close to her body as it goes from the ground up and overhead. Every time she locks out up tall, nice and tight, her glutes are tight, her legs are straight, her abs are engaged, and that plate or weight is nice and directly over top of her heels. Now the third exercise is going to be alternating hip overs. Imagine there's a hurdle or a step in front of you. You're just trying to lift your leg up, drag it over that option, and bring it back. You're gonna do right leg first, then left leg to follow. So we have 20 reps on each leg. That's gonna take you through our first part of the warm-up. Now our second part of the warm-up is we have 2 rounds of 10 sit-ups. Erica's gonna lay down on her back. This time today we're gonna do straight leg sit-ups. So I want her feet flat on the floor, legs nice and tight together, even pointing her toes. So she's gonna sit up and reach all the way for her toes and then go all the way back down to the floor. We want you to take your time on the way back down so that your body rolls nice and smooth and there's never a moment when your back flaps on the ground flat. Now from here we're gonna stay in this position, we're gonna bend the knees, we're gonna go into glute bridges. Now from this position, Erica's gonna drive her hips up into the air, hold and lower back down and pop the hips up and repeat. Now she's gonna hold up top for me for a second. At the top, her hamstrings should be engaged. So I want her to feel like I'm trying to pull her feet out. So those hamstrings are nice and turned on and holding her in this position. Relax, thank you. It's not just as simple as driving your hips up into the air, because that would be really easy at body weight. Now the last exercise in the second warm-up triplet is gonna be split squats. She's gonna take a big step forward with her left leg, drop her knee down to the ground, gently tap the ground and pop right back up. Her heel on the back stays off the ground the entire time. And thank you, relax. Now, workout time. We have a workout movement today that's a little bit more complex. It's not uncommon for people to scale this to no weight. Grab something like a shoe. You can even grab a plant, a nice flower, and we're gonna use this as resistance. Now, we're gonna do a Turkish get up today. So Erica's gonna demonstrate it first with a backpack. You're gonna start laying on your back. It's really important to listen to the right and lefts at this point. So the backpack is gonna be in her right hand, shooting straight up in the sky. Her left arm is out to the side, her left leg is out straight, and her right leg is bent. So whatever arm is up, that leg is pulled in. Now from here, all she's gonna do is sit up onto her left elbow. In this position, she's nice and stable. She's gonna pause here and get used to this position. Now, this is the one that everyone forgets. You need to drive your hips up into the air for a strong glute bridge. The higher those hips can go, the better. So from this position, you're gonna step back and through onto your knee. So you have 3 points of contact. You have your right foot, your left knee, and your left hand. From here, you're just gonna pick that hand off the ground and stand all the way up. The last part is simple. You just stand up. Now we're gonna walk you back down through one piece at a time. So her left leg steps back behind her, knee goes down to the ground. Now her left hand goes to the floor. She's in a tripod stance. She drives her hips up and swings that left leg through, stays in a nice tight bridge, drops that hip down to the ground, down to her elbow, down to her back, and then she lowers that weight down. What we'd like you to do is take about 15 minutes and play around with the Turkish get up. There's a lot of steps involved. On your back, to your elbow, to your hand, to the bridge, swing that leg through and behind you, lift the hand up, and stand all the way up. It's not enough to be able to do it perfectly all the way up. You have to be able to do it perfectly all the way back down. So that's gonna be our skill portion for today. It's workout time. Today's workout is 3 rounds with 1 minute rest in between each round. Every round is 6 minutes of work, again, followed by that 1 minute rest. It's gonna be broken up into 3 2-minute segments. The first 2 minutes is gonna be Russian swing. So what we're gonna do with that backpack is start with it in one hand. You're gonna swing that backpack up to chin height, right about here, and let it come back down. The idea here is you're gonna do 1 minute of swings in the right hand and then switch to the left. Good. If the one hand swing is a little bit tough for you, we can switch it up to the double hand kettlebell swing. Good, thank you. Now, with that weight, we're gonna take that backpack, put your arms through and leave it on your chest. We're gonna do a 2-minute interval of reverse lunges alternating. So Erica's gonna step back with one leg, then step back with the other. Home base at the front should never change. The only thing that's happening is she's stepping back, her knee taps the ground, and she steps back into the front. Now our last 2-minute interval is gonna be 2 minutes of practice on Turkish get-ups. Now, this is gonna be slow. You're not gonna be able to do that many reps. We're gonna focus on stability and controlling the movement. So choose a weight that's a little bit lighter for the Turkish get-ups than you'd use for the alternating lunges or the max swings. We want you to practice it, have a good time, enjoy that movement. 2 minutes there, followed by a 1-minute rest. So 3 rounds of that workout and it'll take you through and it'll be a lot of fun. Now, we do have a little finisher for you. We're gonna use this backpack to do some single arm high pulls, we're gonna do some flutter kicks, and then we'll finish with some half kneeling strict presses. Erica's gonna start with that backpack in her hand. She's gonna tap the ground and pull up to her chest with her elbow nice and high. She's gonna do a couple reps here as we walk through. It's a little bit of a dip and she pulls it up with that elbow nice and high. The idea here is that elbow comes even with the ear. Relax. So you're gonna do 8 on the right, 8 on the left, and we're gonna go dropping down on the floor right into flutter kicks. In our flutter kicks, you can see that she's in a nice stable position. Her feet are staying relatively close to the ground. Her hands are at her sides. We're gonna do 30 reps with each leg being 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To make this move a little bit harder, we're gonna take our hands and put them up overhead. You can do it with a dog, you can do it with a baby, you can do it with your favorite plant, whatever works best for you. And stand on up. Now, our last exercise is gonna be half kneeling presses. So Erica's gonna hold the weight in her right hand. Her right knee is back behind her, and she's gonna press it up and overhead and lower it back down. Now, there's no real tempo here, but we want you to not go any faster than a 2-second eccentric. So 1, 2, and press back up. 1, 2, and drive. Whatever leg is behind you, in her case, her right leg, that same arm is the one that's gonna be doing the pressing. We're trying to create a nice, long line on that side. Have a great workout, enjoy the Turkish get-ups, and have a great rest of your day.